All right, everyone. Welcome back to another video. I'm Yanni. For those of you who don't know, if you clicked on this and are a new viewer to the channel, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. I make videos about college life and anything in between. So if you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications. Share these videos out. So I actually just finished an interview with someone from the Daily here about this channel and stuff like that, which was really cool. But right now, it's I think like 3-ish. I'm gonna go to I think one of the parks on North Campus and talk about the topic for this video is going to be talking about how to pick the right college for you. So I'm gonna do that and get the video started there. All right, everyone. I'm in the park right now. Actually, I took my mask off just because everyone is super scattered. No one's near me. And I want to do this video here just because I like this day is absolutely beautiful. It's like 70 degrees out. The wind is a little over the top. It's at like 50 miles per hour, but right now it feels nice. There's gonna be some background noise, so just bear with me with that. As you guys saw in the beginning of the video, the topic for today is how you guys and whoever is really a high school or a senior in high school right now, how you all could actually choose the right college that's the perfect fit for you. So the reason I actually wanted to make this video today is because today's April 3rd, and in about a month, May 1st will be decision day, I believe. I don't know if it's different with coronavirus, but usually May 1st is decision day, meaning that is the last day for you to actually commit to the school you want to without, I think it's having to pay an additional fine, putting down the deposit that day. So that's why I wanted to make this, because I'm sure a bunch of you have already committed or probably know where you're going, especially if you got an early decision, early action, have known for a while, have been deciding for a long time, haven't really waited with other schools. But I know there's also an equal amount of you that haven't really decided where you want to go. And maybe you're in between two schools, maybe you're in between 5 schools, maybe you're in between a whole bunch of schools and you really don't know what that deciding factor could be for you to choose the one that you actually want. And that's why I wanted to make this video. I wanted to really offer some tips, some questions, and some advice to you all so that you can make this decision easier, and that you could really look through the options for each of the schools that you're really evaluating and deciding between, and see which one is the right fit for you. So that being said, I'm going to dive into the questions that I really think are important when choosing the school that is right for you. And I've written these down just because I think it's very important to really specifically zero in on the ones I wrote and not kind of go off script here, because I think that these are extremely important, and these are really the ones that I looked at when I was deciding. So one of the first questions I would ask myself if I was in your shoes, or you should ask yourself, is, does this school fulfill the wants and aspirations I have for myself going forward in my future endeavors? Now, what I mean by this is, what you really should do is you should really extensively research the school. You should look at the resources they have, the opportunities they have for you as a freshman and going through your senior year, throughout the 4 years that you are there. If you're interested in research, you should look at the school as research opportunities. If they have labs that you could partake in as a freshman, if you could work with assistant professors and professors themselves, be their assistants as an undergraduate, that's very important to look at. Other things that are extremely important is to look for internship availability, study abroad programs, and opportunities for you to travel throughout different quarters and semesters, whichever one the school that you're looking at is based on as a system. Doing this in general should really help you see what academically this school has to offer for you that could really fulfill your wants and needs and aspirations, like I said, going forward. And a lot of people tend to overlook this. They get into the school that they really want to. They have 2 to choose between, or a bunch to choose between, and they go to the school that has the name value, or that has the brand, or that everyone knows about, without really doing research about what they want to do, what's going to help them, what's going to benefit them in the future. And that's, in my opinion, that's a very poor way to go about making this decision. So tip number one is to really extensively do some research on the school and look at what it has to offer that could benefit you. Okay, so the second question you should really ask yourself, it's another I think, very important one as well, is does the school that you're looking at have a small or large student body and or campus? Now, another huge thing a lot of students tend to overlook is the comfort that they want when going to the school that they're going to be at for the next 4 years. And I think it's important to really consider what your comfort level is and what you want. If you're someone who wants a more intimate atmosphere, more intimate space when it comes to college, maybe you want to choose a school that's a little smaller in terms of student body and campus size. If you're someone who likes the big scene, who likes being able to freely walk around, who likes being in a bigger class setting, having more classmates, more professors to look upon, and maybe more classes, then look at the big schools. Another thing you really want to consider with this is the social atmosphere, the social scene that your school has to offer. Is it big on Greek life? Is it big on the party scene? Is it big with having a lot of clubs, a lot of student organizations, a lot of student life in general, a lot of campus life? If those things really matter to you, you should really look at the school and see if it has to offer, if it can offer those things to you, and if it's has a greater amount of that compared to another school you're comparing. By looking at those different aspects, different factors, and different components of the school, you could really zero in on the things that you want alongside the academic components that school has, and really make a decision based off that. Okay, so the third question I would really consider is, and I think this is very important for almost everyone, it's to look at the financial side. So you really want to see where the school is in terms of budget and what you can actually afford in terms of price, obviously, but in terms of actually looking at long-term effects and taking out loans and having to repay those loans, stuff like that. It's important to really consider this factor, but I don't think it should be the number one most important factor. And the reason I say this is because everywhere you go, I promise you, your teachers, your counselors, your parents, as fair as it is, will say, you got to take the one that goes for you got to go to the one that gives you the most money. And that's very important advice. It's great advice, but in my opinion, it still shouldn't be the biggest thing that you have to worry about. No student should really have to only worry about the money when deciding between a college and having to choose the one that they don't want to go to just because it's the cheaper one. And it's tough. It's a very tough thing to deal with, especially with the college system in general, the way it works. But that just leads me to another opportunity for you to really look at the financial side, really looking to see if the school offers scholarships, obviously financial aid if you're eligible for those scholarships and or financial aid, and if they offer work study positions. Now, disclaimer, one thing I really don't want you to take away from this question that you're going to be asking yourself about the financial side is don't worry about money at all, because that's not real and that's ridiculous. You really just have to find the right balance. You have to talk to your parents about this extensively. You have to really see how you're going to pay for college. Are your parents going to help you? Is the government going to help you? Are you going to do scholarships? Are you going to do work study? Are you going to try to pay for it on your own? Are you going to try to take out the loans and then repay them? It's important to consider all these factors when choosing your school. And it is scary. It is stressful. It is very, very difficult to think about and worrisome for a lot of people, myself included. It was one of the hardest things when deciding, but it's really important to just sit down, have conversations with individuals, think about what you really want to do, and think about the school that you really want to go to, and see if it is worth it to go to that school, even if the financial side is a huge struggle in the long term. So one thing I want you to take away is don't just assume that everything's free. Have an open mind and actually think about everything, and don't say that Yanni made you pick the school just because it's better status and money you don't have to worry about money. Don't think that. I'm just trying to say to look at all your options and evaluate them. All right, so the next question I think you should ask yourself is, does the school have the concentration I want to go into and or field that I might want to have as a backup in case I don't end up continuing with a concentration? Now, one thing you probably didn't hear from that was major. And the reason I didn't include a major is because you really don't declare that until the end of sophomore year, unless you're in a specific program like pre-med or pre-dental or pre-law, something like that. And the reason is because you're gonna have almost 2 years to really freely look and see what you want to dive deep into. And that's only gonna happen if you choose a school that has concentrations and fields that you are really interested in, not just your top one, but a bunch, like your top 3. Because if you go to a school that's only focused on one thing, like a technical school that's focused on tech, computer science, engineering, stuff like that, or only strictly a liberal arts school, or a trade school, or any really type of college that's focused on one thing, if you only go to that, then you're really going to only have opportunities in those types of fields. You might have some small opportunities outside of that. Maybe at the tech school you have like a small liberal arts, some small liberal arts classes, but you're not going to have really a major for that. And eventually, obviously, you do have to declare a major. Now, the reason I say that is because if you do end up choosing a school that only focuses on one thing, like tech or like liberal arts, then you can't really switch out of it if you want to. And then you're going to be stuck with a tough decision of staying in that field. However, in contrast, if you do end up going to a school or a university or a college that has a wide range of concentrations, fields, majors, minors, then you could freely choose what you want to do and switch out very easily. Now, the one thing I really love about Northwestern University, which is actually right behind me, you can see Lincoln Hall right there. But the one thing I really, really love is both the flexibleness of the quarter system, but the easy ability to really freely change between schools, concentrations, majors, minors super easily. And it's super flexible. I just love that because you're not stuck or bound to one thing. You're not going to be going into a major, maybe not liking it and just having to stay there. You could switch and actually change to a different one after just the signing of a form, speaking with an advisor, and really committing to yourself, saying that you really want to do this. So this is a really important question that I think you should ask yourself. I think it's really, really important to consider what you want to do, at least the main top 3 or 4 fields and concentrations, and if they're all different, even all the better. All right, so the last thing you should consider for yourself when deciding which school is right for you is really not exactly a question, but it's just really where do you want to go? And it sounds easier than it really is because it's difficult for a lot of people because a lot of the times it's not them making the decision, which is quite sad. Now, what I mean by this is that a lot of the times the students are the ones who obviously wrote the applications, did everything, got help, of course, but they did the majority. They're the ones who submitted. They worked their butts off. They were the ones who put their blood, sweat, and tears into it, worked tirelessly, and someone else ends up making the decision. I'm not trying to put anyone on the spot, but sometimes parents think that they're the ones who make the decision because they might be paying for it, and they're the ones who decide without any say you have, or someone else tries to force you to do it, or someone lightly and like in a way that doesn't sound harmful tells you and suggests you to go to a school. But in the end, a lot of times people want to make the decision for you, and you just can't let that happen. Of course it's important to get input from them, to get feedback, to get advice, to, like from me, to get the whole point of this channel is to help give you advice and tips on how to really get through the college admissions process and how to choose a college that's right for you and what to do going forward. However, I think it's really imperative that you consider all the things I said and you really just make the decision for you based on where you want to go and where you see yourself in the next 4 years or the next 2 years, whichever college you're going to. And I think it's important to get feedback, like I said, from everyone, but you can't let them make the decision for you because, like I said, you're the one who actually applied. You're the one who did, the majority of the work, besides writing the recommendations maybe and getting peer revisions and teacher revisions and parent revisions. But seriously, it's important to really, really make the decision for yourself because it might sound odd and ridiculous, but a lot of people don't always have that chance, and it's quite sad. So everyone, I hope you guys all enjoyed the video. Those pieces of advice and tips are the main reason that I wanted to make this video. I think it's very important to consider all those things when choosing a school and a college that's right for you. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please feel free to hit the subscribe button, turn on post notifications, share these videos out, and like the video as well. As always, I hope you all are staying safe, staying strong. Always remember to stay motivated, and I will see you guys in the next video.